Hi, I'm Evan Tobin. I'm one of the ENT physicians with Ohio ENT and Allergy Physicians. I have been a doctor now for 25 years, and as long as I can remember, I wanted to be a doctor. My dad was a doctor, still is, still practices, and he was a role model for me and still is. I can remember making rounds with him when I was younger, going to the hospital, seeing some of his post-op patients with him, and then working in his office when I was a teenager for a summer job. And so it just kind of seemed inevitable that I was going to end up being a doctor, and I did, and have never regretted that decision. I love being a doctor. I'm a native Texan. I came to Ohio after I finished college in New Jersey at Princeton, and then went back to Texas for medical school at the University of Texas in Dallas. And then looked for the best ENT program I could find, and that happened to be at Ohio State. And so came to Ohio State figuring I'd spend 5 years as a Buckeye and then head home to Texas and spend my days there. Well, I have learned that if you marry a Buckeye, you cannot get your Ohio wife out of this state. And so I've been here now for 25 years, and I have a wonderful wife and two great kids and two Labrador retrievers, and I love living in Ohio. I still root for the Cowboys, but I root for the Buckeyes over the Longhorns now, so I think that means I'm really a Buckeye now. What I enjoy most about ENT is the wide variety of things that we see. It's a specialty that allows us to see kids and adults and elderly patients. In one afternoon, you might see children who need their tonsils out or need ear tubes, or see an elderly patient with a swallowing or voice problem, and then see a young adult who has snoring or a sinus problem. And so it's a wide variety. It's intellectually stimulating, and it gives you the opportunity to interact with lots of different people. And that's one of the things that we all love about being ENT doctors. Although I enjoy all aspects of ENT, I particularly enjoy treating adult nasal and sinus problems and snoring and sleep apnea, and also really enjoy seeing pediatric patients with all ear, nose, and throat problems. And as my practice has evolved over the years, those areas are areas that I've been able to concentrate on and enjoy a great deal. A particular type of surgery that I enjoy is an operation called otoplasty, and this is an operation that we do for children who are born with very prominent ears. For most kids who have prominent ears, it's really not a major issue, but some children with this problem are horribly teased and can become very self-conscious with this. And there's a very simple, very elegant operation that we can do to recreate the normal shape of the ear and reposition it in a position that appears more natural. And it's not just pinning the ears back, it's actually making the ear look normal again. And several of us in this group do this operation, and I think we would all agree it's a life-changing operation for a child who maybe was self-conscious about this. You do the operation, you take the bandages off, and the look on their face when they look in the mirror and they see their ears that have always been the most prominent feature that they've noticed now being normal is a really neat thing. And so I enjoy that operation, and I enjoy taking care of those kids and their families when those come along. I can remember a case where a ninth grade boy came into my office, and he had had just relentless nasal and sinus problems since he was a young child, according to his mom, and it always seemed to be on one side. And they finally decided it should be checked out, and so I'm examining the child, and he was very cooperative, and I had to use a small scope, and I found what was obviously a foreign body in the back part of his nasal passage. And he, again, was cooperative and allowed me to remove this, and I get this foreign body out, and I'm looking at it, and it becomes obvious that it's a pencil shaving. It's like one of those large pencil shavings. And his mother is horrified. She sees what I'm holding, and she says, "What is that?" And I said, it's a pencil shaving. And she was shocked, and she said, "You're kidding." And immediately the child, the ninth grader, his eyes light up, and he said, "Oh my gosh, I remember I put that in my nose in second grade in art class." And his mother said, "You did what?" And he points at her and he said, "I told you I did it when I got home and you told me it would dissolve." And she sheepishly shakes her head and said, "I totally remember that now." And so a note to you parents out there watching this, pencil leads and pencil shavings do not dissolve in the nose, so those need to be seen by us if your child reports this to you. I feel very fortunate to be in this group and to work with incredible doctors and staff, both in our practice and in a surgery center that we all go to regularly called the Ohio Surgery Center. We have incredible staff, and our doctors are, I think, among the top in the country, and I call on them and seek their advice when we have complicated cases. My personal staff in particular, I have worked with for many, many years, and I feel like they're very loyal to the practice and they've been loyal to me. My patients love them and often ask for them by name. A couple in particular have been with me since the day that I started, and so I'm very grateful to have that kind of support. I couldn't do what I do without having people to help me. It would be my pleasure to see you or a family member for an ENT problem, and I can speak for all the physicians and staff here at Ohio ENT and Allergy Physicians that entrusting your care to us is a privilege that we hold in highest regard. And thanks so much for checking out our website.